Hello everyone, I'm GamerEdge101, and I'm an autistic Wookiee. Today I'm going to be doing a weapon review on the M1941, also known as the Johnson. This is the default assault rifle you have at level 1 and was often overlooked before other YouTubers started telling you to stop overlooking it. For good reason though. This gun can absolutely decimate your enemies as long as you're accurate. Speaking of accuracy, let's take a look at the recoil pattern. The first three patterns are without the grip. Alright, time to grab another Johnson. The next three patterns are with a grip. Under normal circumstances, I would do a side-by-side comparison of the recoil, but in this case, this gun's recoil is so sporadic, they only share one of the same traits when it comes to recoil pattern, and that's that it always kind of shoots into the upper right. Otherwise, they all kind of do really weird shit, so I don't really know if a side-by-side comparison would be accurate, because this gun did different things 6 times, so the only thing that you can know for sure it's going to do is it is going to shoot into the upper right corner of wherever your sights are, and that's about all you can really be sure of. But even then, it didn't completely do that either, so I don't really know what to make of this gun's recoil, to be honest with you. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is take a look at the fire rate with and without rapid fire and see if this attachment is worth using at all. Now I need to get the one with rapid fire. And for rapid fire, I will do a side-by-side comparison. I actually messed up a little bit in these recordings. The one on the right could have fired much quicker after reloading than I actually fired it. I just kind of took my time for some stupid reason, and I'm not really sure why. Overall, the increase in fire rate seems to be roughly a 10% increase to this gun. The reason I test rapid fire the way I do, by firing a magazine, reloading, and then firing another one, is because this tells me two things. 1, how much faster it shoots than the original one, and 2, how much sooner I can start shooting because of rapid fire. In a way, by shooting all of your bullets out faster, you are therefore reloading faster. That sounds a little stupid and it's not literal, but that is kind of what it does. You get your reload off sooner because you've emptied your bullets out much faster. And this tells me just how much faster it is. The next thing I want to look at is idle sway. There is none. Now we're going to take a look at the reload speeds with and without the hustle basic training. Without the hustle basic training, it'll take roughly 2.6 seconds to reload if you reload cancel, and roughly 3.3 seconds if you don't reload cancel. However, with the hustle basic training, it'll take roughly 1.7 seconds to reload if you reload cancel, and 2.2 seconds if you don't reload cancel. By default, you cannot reload cancel by sprinting with the hustle basic training, but if you go into your control settings at the bottom of the list, you can turn this off. I also wanted to actually show the 4-shot kill range for this weapon. This gun cannot 3-shot kill. I thought it could, but nope, I was wrong. It can only 4-shot kill. Here's the standard 4-shot kill range for this gun, and from what I can tell, this is the farthest away you will get 4 shots without advanced rifling or high caliber. And these are all body shots. Normally, I'd be getting into my recommended setup for this weapon, but this time I actually wanted to do some extensive testing on 2 particular attachments, advanced rifling and high caliber. These are both very good in conjunction with one another, but are they good on their own? Well, I did some testing to find out. This is potentially the longest sightline in the entire game, and this is the 4-shot kill range with advanced rifling.
Oh, you up there? Okay.
Also, big shout out to my friend Derek, who helped me do this testing.
That fucking melted me. I was almost dead at 3. I mean, I was red as shit at 3.
Headshots in this game are weird. Almost every gun has a 1.1 times headshot multiplier, which effectively makes headshots pointless unless you're using high caliber, which is a 1.5 times multiplier. But this is not true for weapons like the M1 Garand or the SVT, as they are 2-shot kill weapons at most distances, and high caliber is useless in their 2-shot kill ranges, which are already very long distances, making high caliber almost useless for those particular weapons. High caliber makes it so that you require one less bullet to kill your enemy as long as one of them is a headshot. This is the 3-shot kill range with advanced rifling and high caliber on the M1941.
Yep.
I did this in a little bit of a reverse order. I should have tested high caliber next and then high caliber with advanced rifling, but I'm glad I didn't, because I tested high caliber without advanced rifling next, and I got an interesting result.
Yep.
We tested this at a pretty far distance. We tested it again at the closer distance, which was the 4-shot kill range without any attachments, and it ended up getting a 3-shot kill. So somewhere in between those two locations is the 4-shot kill range with a headshot. It's a strange distance, so I can't really calculate exactly where that's going to be for you, but keep in mind that you're going to have to be at a pretty long sight line to get a 4-shot kill. 3-shot kills up close are definitely viable if you can land a headshot, and 4-shot kills are pretty viable even at a long distance. That extreme distance is the only area where you'll really get a 5-shot kill, even if one of them is a headshot, which you probably shouldn't be engaging a target that far away with this gun to begin with. Now to get into my recommended setup for this particular weapon. I'm going to list off my attachments in order of importance in my opinion, so keep that in mind as we go forward. And the most important attachment for this gun is going to be the grip. If you can deal without it, then go ahead, but I don't really recommend using it without the grip, because it's pretty powerful. Without the grip, you saw that recoil pattern earlier. It was pretty ridiculous what this weapon's recoil does. So the second attachment is going to be extended mags, especially because it increases the magazine size by 12. That's pretty substantial for an increase in magazine size. The next attachment is going to be an optic of some choice. I usually use the reflex sight personally, I like that the most. But some people like the lens sight, and even the 4X if you're really going for it. This gun has no idle sway no matter what you put on it, so go ahead and go crazy with any of them. If you're running the primed basic training, then you can use a 4th attachment if you're using the infantry division, of course. I would recommend either advanced rifling or high caliber because those are both very good attachments for this gun. And if you think you can do without the extended mag, you can actually mix and match the two together to make a very powerful long distance weapon. This gun is crazy strong at distance with the attachments, and it can be pretty devastating. But if you just want to use one of the two, I personally would recommend advanced rifling. That's just what I like. It's what I personally like to use. I don't really go for headshots as much as I probably should, but I just don't. An interesting distinction to make is that the weapon in the game is much more akin to the light machine gun version of the weapon that I will talk about during the history here. So let's go ahead and get into that. Now we're going to look a little bit at the history of the M1941 Johnson rifle. Melvin Johnson campaigned heavily for the adoption of the Johnson rifle by the U.S. Army and other service branches. However, after limited testing, the U.S. Army rejected Johnson's rifle in favor of the M1 Garand developed by Springfield Armory. The M1941 was ordered by the Netherlands for issue to the KNIL and the Dutch East Indies, but only a few rifles were shipped there before the Japanese invaded. At this time, the U.S. Marine Corps found itself in need of a modern, fast-firing infantry rifle and acquired some rifles from the Dutch East Indies shipment for issue to its paramarine battalions, then preparing to deploy for action in the Pacific Theater. By all accounts, the M1941 performed acceptably in combat with the Marines in the early days of the Pacific fighting. Weapon serial number A0009 was issued to USMC Captain Robert Hugo Dunlap of Monmouth, Illinois, and he carried it into combat for the Battle of Iwo Jima beginning 19th of February 1945. Captain Dunlap was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions in that battle, and he retained and displayed the weapon until his death in the year 2000. He praised the rifle and credited it with saving his life and the lives of others. Despite repeated requests to adopt the rifle by the Marine Corps, the Johnson rifle also lacked the support of U.S. Army Ordnance, which had already invested considerable sums in the development of the M1 Garand and its revised gas operating system, then just going into full production. Johnson was successful in selling small quantities of the M1941 Johnson light machine gun to the U.S. Armed Forces, and this weapon was later used by both Paramarines and the Army's 1st Special Service Force. Additionally, in April 1944, the United States War Department offered the Free French military the use of approximately 10,500 Johnson rifles and 1,500 Johnson light machine guns. These guns were from undelivered Dutch/Netherlands contracts and taken over by the United States government in 1942. The French accepted them and issued them to their sovereignty troops, i.e., units composed mainly of Europeans. In late 1946, Argentina expressed an interest in Johnson's arms, and Johnson fabricated a prototype, the Model 1947 Auto Carbine, a semi-automatic rifle variant of the light machine gun with a 10-round cylindrical magazine. While specific details are sketchy, it apparently bore little resemblance but shared some features with the Johnson M1941 light machine gun. Argentina apparently declined to purchase any, and the M1947 autocarbine never went into production. In any event, the post-war years were not kind to the Johnson organization. The entity filed for bankruptcy and was liquidated in early 1949. The Johnson rifle was also used in the 1961 Bay of Pigs invasion by the Anti-Castro Brigade 2506. Because it was produced in relatively small quantities, the Johnson rifle has become a highly sought-after collectible by World War II collectors looking to complete their collections. And that will conclude my weapon review and brief history on the M1941 Johnson rifle. I do want to take a second to talk about the historical accuracy or inaccuracy of the weapons portrayed in this game. They did get a lot of things wrong, and some of them do genuinely bug me, but the most immediate one that I can think of for this particular weapon is that it should not even be able to use a bayonet. This gun is designed in such a way that a bayonet actually affected the weapon very heavily for some reason. I read up on it a little bit before I actually started this review, but I just remember reading that this gun should not even be able to take a bayonet, but they threw it on there anyway. Why? Because the infantry class in the game can take bayonets on their assault rifles, so fuck it. It's a video game, guys. They were just trying to make a fun experience. Whether you agree with that or not is completely up to you, and whether they succeeded or not is also up to your own opinion. But keep in mind that this is a video game and they had to take some liberties for certain things. There are certain things that they definitely didn't need to take liberties on that they did, but for the most part, I think they did a good job at making the game fun, aside from all the server issues. And that'll conclude my review and history on the M1941 Johnson, everyone. If you liked the video, please throw a bayonet in that like button, and if you like the content I'm putting out, please throw a grenade on my subscribe button. Yeah, I'm gonna get really stupid with this shit in the long run, so have fun. Okay, bye!